Hello bass family and welcome to Everything Bass. We're going to carry on with some more advanced plucking hand alternating drills. There's a video you can find on my channel where I cover the basics of using two fingers and consistently alternating. I'm not so strict to say that sometimes you'll see me play with one finger. Sometimes I use three, but if you do want to work on the two finger technique, there's a benefit to really being able to control whether you're always alternating or raking. It's easy to say, oh, I can alternate, but if you don't work on it with certain string skipping exercises, you can find yourself tripping up. Now remember, the whole thesis behind this is that everyone in the world can flutter their two fingers really quickly. But when you start like playing twice with one finger once, then twice, once, three times with this one, we equate it to like running downstairs. You can quickly run downstairs if you alternate between your left foot and your right foot. When you run downstairs, and don't do this because I don't want any lawsuits, if you were to like run like left foot, right foot, right foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, right foot, left foot, you can find yourself tripping up. And I think that's where sometimes we get caught up when we're trying to play a complex bass line or trying to visualize or realize something we visualize inside, and we're trying to play something and we trip up and we throw it away. A lot of times we blame the fretting hand. But, and sometimes obviously there can be a weakness in that, but let's just focus on the plucking hand. So I have three sets of exercises to you that are the next level from my intro to right hand alternating or plucking hand alternating. So let's get right into it. Now, if you download the sheet music from my Patreon account, the link's in the description below, you will see that all the notes are X'd out. Now what that means is we're just going to mute. We don't care about like playing a melodic note. We just want percussion because we're going to focus solely here. If I was to actually write an exercise that had full notes, it's easy to get distracted about like, what C should you play and shifting and which finger you should play. I want all the focus on our plucking hand. So we're going to do that. So exercise 1 alternates between one beat will be 2/8 notes. The next beat will be 4/16 notes. 2/8 notes, 4/16 notes. That's also going to help us get a little more control over our rhythm. So starting with the E string, and again muted, you're going to play twice there. And play rather forcefully. Then when you go to beat 2, go to the A string and play 4/16 notes. Now if I play those together so you can hear the juxtaposition, it's 1 and 2 E and O. Like that. Now we're always going to return to the E string. So every other note, starting with the first note, will be an E string twice. And then we're going to string skip. So let me play through the exercise. It's going to be E, A, E, D, E, G, and back to the D. Now just take that and you really don't even need to be plugged in. I mean, because we're really not listening for rattles or misfrets or anything like that. But so this is a good one if you just need to get out of the house. You want to practice in the backyard. Don't feel like pulling your amp out. You can sit there and just... Now do it slowly enough at first to make sure you're alternating, that you're always switching fingers. Again, I don't want to start a debate about, well, you don't always have to alternate. No, of course you don't. But you should be in control of it. Like when you need to, you should be able to do it dependably, reliably, and repeatedly. Then if you decide stylistically to glide on some strings or play with one finger or flutter a finger, all that stuff, that's great, but you need to be in control of it. It's weird when you know you need to do it and you haven't developed the ability to do it with string skipping that it becomes frustrating. So that's exercise 1. Start slow. Make sure you're alternating. Now, if you remember from my first video, if you over-exaggerate the movements, that's not how I want you to ultimately play, but if you're concerned that you're double hitting with one finger, just over-exaggerate the motions. Now when you do that, when you really pull your finger up high, it makes it hard to double hit because this finger's closer and it just seems like it helps get that down. And then slowly bring the mechanics closer and so you're barely moving over the strings. All right, number 2 is all 16th note now, and we're going to play 3 16th notes on the E string, then 1 on the A string, and then we'll repeat that. So it'll be E, 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 A, E, 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 A. Then we switch everything to the A string. A, D, A, D. Move to the D string, D, 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 G, D, 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 G. And it sounds like this. And back to the A. This one is one of those that you might feel on some of the sections that you want to like you just get done playing the G string, you think, well, my index finger's on the D string, why don't I do that? And again, at times it might work great, but if you find yourself tripping up and not being able to get your tempos up to whatever the song requires, just get that discipline of always alternating, and you'll find these are easy, quite easy to play through. So the last one is an interesting one, and it takes a little bit of thinking. So we have 4 16th notes, and starting on the E string, we're going to go E, A, E. Then we repeat that, E, A, E. Then we just move everything up, A, D, A, D, A. Then move it up, D, G, D. And similar as then we walk back down to the A string. I'm going to do this one really slowly. This one purposely is trying to kind of almost entice you to double hit with one finger. So be real diligent, really watch your right hand, over-exaggerate the motions to make sure you're alternating, and then see how smooth you can get it at higher tempos. So this one goes like this. And then make sense? So it's just important to take a moment and isolate these different mechanics. From the fretting hand, we're going to isolate and work on more developed, more involved right hand plucking technique. I should not say right hand. I'm sorry. That's just from decades and decades of that. It's really plucking hand, because I want to show respect to our lefty brothers and sisters. So there's 3 exercises. I do encourage you to become a Backstage Pass subscribing member and download the sheet. Put it in your binder. That way you're not dependent on always having to watch the video, and you can remember exactly how it goes. And I'm a visual learner, so seeing it written out, even in tab form, because everything's written both in standard notation and tab, it helps me kind of see it and get it into my routine and be consistent and accurate with it. All right, there you have it. What questions do you have? Do you have any other problems with your plucking hand? Have you run into issues? I've had people email me photos of or in short videos to dtitus@daletitus.com. I encourage you to do so. Just email me a short clip of whatever mechanic you're having a problem with. I promise I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to include it in a video. It's private between you and I. But I may use the concept of however we fix it. I might do a video about that. But of course, I'll respect you on that. I just want you to feel safe. I want you to feel like you can just contact me directly. We can work out some issues and then get you on your way. Sound good? All right, we're moving on to our Encore item. And today our Encore item is 2003's album Train of Thought by Dream Theater. When I start doing exercises that really drill down and really focus on technique, I just think of John Mayung. John Mayung is one of the most technical and precise bassists who still plays with passion and fury. I just love watching him play live. He's got a certain ease. Like, he can play very complex parts, but he looks so at ease, and I like that fluidity in his playing. And this album's a great example. Now, for me, as I was getting to know Dream Theater, and I did buy their first album when it first came out. Then I skipped a couple albums, and then it was around Live in Budokan that I went back and got other albums. And when I got this album, Train of Thought, I thought, man, this is heavy. And I know, I'm not an expert at timelines, but I know they did a lot of like the Gigantour with Megadeth, and they played with a lot of really super heavy bands. And I'm not sure if that was the influence, but I love this album. First album, As I Am, to me, just it could be a perfect song for like what I like. And of course, In the Name of God, This Dying Soul. There's just so you could just go on and listen to John's playing, listen to his precision. And I'm always drawn to that quote from the movie Witches of Eastwick. Jack Nicholson says to Susan Sarandon, one of the actresses, says she's playing cello, and she complains that she says that people complain that her playing is real pritzy and really like overly precise. And Jack Nicholson says, passion without precision is chaos. I can't speak well today. So passion without precision, why is that tricking me up? Is chaos. And that stuck with me as I went through, because when I first saw that movie, I was playing in metal bands, and it was all about passion. I mean, for me, I just went out there and tried to just let all my emotions free and just be like wild. But I started realizing that when I listened back to recordings that I kind of flubbed that, or that wasn't as good as it could be. And then that quote stuck in my head: passion without precision is chaos. And so that's why I work on these things. And hey, you know what? If they help you out, great. If it's something you don't feel like you need to work on, it's not important to your playing, I'm not going to push it on you. But I want to make it available for you guys. All right, well, there we have it. We've got advanced plucking hand exercises for you. And we have the album Train of Thought by Dream Theater. You know, I really love the conversation. You guys have been, it seemed like mostly communicating with me through Facebook and direct messaging and emails. But in the comments below, I'd love to just get a group like discussion going. Like, what are issues you're having with your plucking hand? Or when you had an issue, what were some things you did to get over them? Because I can definitely learn from you, and we all can learn from each other. So thank you so much. It means a lot to me if you could hit the subscribe button down below. It's free to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell icon to be notified whenever I upload videos. We just passed the 900 subscriber mark, so I'm kind of excited to get to that 1,000. It's always that mark that, you know, I think every YouTuber wants to get to, and we're getting close. And I appreciate those who have subscribed, and hopefully you'll consider subscribing if you have not. And of course, share the video. Let's just really get as many bass players into this group as possible, and look for more. We're going to be doing more 60 cycle hum videos where I take your guys' questions and I put them out there and answer them for everybody. And we're going to be doing another family portrait where I feature some of you. If you want to be considered for a future family portrait and share some of your music and some of your thoughts and ideas, I would love that. Just email me again at dtitus@daletitus.com. Hey, thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video.